And here we are again at the Amherst Trainshow, Massachusetts, Springfield, 2023. And with me is Matt Stern, manager for social media at Bachmann Incorporated, right?
Absolutely.
And I will hand over the microphone to him, and he will tell us about all the news and the interesting stuff he has on the shelf. And of course, the shelves are full. Right, go ahead.
All right, thank you.
I take care of this one.
Okay. So we're going to start with some of our new announcements here for 2023 in HO and N scale, and we have a lot of cool things. We're going to start with our, some of our most talked about items. These are the Phase 7 Amtrak ALC 42s. Last year we brought out the Phase 6 and the Day 1 ALC 42s. People loved those. They were really, really well received, and you know, as soon as Amtrak announced this paint scheme, everyone started asking, when are we going to come out with this version? And here it is. These are just pre-production samples. We have a few paint tweaks to do before they're ready for release, but we anticipate them being here sometime in the middle of the year. Moving on from those, we have two new additions to our ACS 64 range. This is the 600, the class leader, which is the only named version, which is named for David L. Gunn, one of the former presidents of Amtrak. And it's essentially the standard scheme, but it has the little David L. Gunn name on the front. So for any Northeast corridor modeler, it's an essential model to have. We also have the Phase 3 Train Sim World 2 version. This is another one that people have been very excited about. Train Sim World 2 was an extremely popular game. And when this came out, it was just like when the Phase 7 paint scheme came out. Everybody asked, when are we going to do it? Are we going to do it? Is it even going to be possible to do it? And we're happy to deliver. It looks fantastic. We've got everything that was on the real locomotive, all of the markings and all of the graphics. Train Sim World, what's the name of the company there? Dovetail Games, thank you. Dovetail Games was fantastic to work with. They helped us out in getting the licensing for everything, so we were able to make the locomotive as close to the real locomotive as we can. Moving on from the U.S. models, we're moving to Canada here. We have the Via Rail SCV42, which is their version of the Charger. This model looks fantastic. It's got, as you can see, a little bit of a different design to the U.S. versions. It's got a really nice brand new Via Rail paint scheme, and we don't have it on the rails right now, but when you have it on the rails, you can hear it actually has some different sounds to the U.S. version. So we have a custom Canadian horn for it. We have a whole slew of Canadian announcements. Replicating real train numbers in Montreal, on the Montreal to Toronto route, and they play in both French and English. And then moving on from that, we have some, really going back in time a little bit here, we're going to the GP7s, which we announced in the beginning of 2022. This is a selection of new paint schemes. We've run this locomotive type before, but we haven't done these schemes. We've got Conrail, we've got the Santa Fe Blue scheme, we've got Amtrak Maintenance of Way, and we've got Chesapeake and Ohio. And I think all of these look fantastic and should be well received. And going even further back in time here, we can go to the steam era. I'm just going to move the Via Rail out of the way so you guys can see this a little better. These are our HO scale Hudsons, and these are absolutely stunning models. They have full metal. They have metal boilers, they have functioning driving rods, they have a whole range of separately applied features, and these are going to come with DCC, just as the modern locomotives do with TCS wow sound. They have a capacitor in them, the Keep Alive capacitor for constant smooth running. They have something called chuffidity, which senses the load that the locomotive has on it. So if the locomotive has a heavy train, you'll hear the locomotive chuffing harder and working harder. And if it has a lighter train, it'll sound like it's not working as hard. And the same thing happens when it hits a grade. If it hits an upward grade, it'll start chuffing more. If it's going down, it'll sound like it's coasting. One of the most popular locomotives in our HO scale range for many years is the USRA 060 steam locomotive. For 2022, we announced that we were going to be doing a little bit of an upgrade. We're still keeping the original range, but we're also introducing these new, more detailed versions. These include things like road-specific tenders. You can see you've got the coal bunker on this one here, and then you've got the oil tender here. And they have different headlight placements as well, as per the prototype, in addition to a few more separately applied details and improved cab design as well. Moving into N-Scale, we announced our SC44 chargers in 2022, and we're happy to show you that we have them here, and these actually just came out in December, so these have hit the stores. We also have our ALC42, the long-distance Amtrak version here. This is currently just an unpainted sample, but it's going to come with all the features and come with the same level of quality that we have on the SC44s. And in rolling stock announcements, we have a few samples from our NMRA announcement, which happened in late 2022. We have the first unpainted sample of the transfer caboose. This is based on a Missouri Pacific example, but they're very similar cars that operated on railroads across the U.S., and we're offering 4 paint schemes that reflect these different railroads. This comes with a lot of separately applied details, and we're really excited about it. It should be a nice car. We also have the chemical tank cars. These are later era tank cars and tank cars that we previously had in our range. These range from about the late 1950s through to the 1970s, and we've produced 2 different versions with different dome styles to stay authentic to the prototype. So here we have one of our ALC42s that arrived into stock last year. This is the Amtrak Phase 6 version, and we're going to show you a few of the features that it comes with. So we're going to start here with Function 0, which is the headlights. Then you've got the bell, and you'll see when the bell activates, it automatically activates the flashing ditch lights. Then you've got the horn, which does the same thing. That's the long version of the horn that you can play for as long as you want. And then you've got the short version that just lets out a toot. And then, so if you put it into reverse here, you'll see it changes to marker lights. And going back to forward direction, you'll see if you press that's it. Short version again. Let's see. You can see we also have, that wasn't supposed to happen, but all right, now we're good. And then we also have several train announcements as well that come with it that have actual North American train numbers on them. So I'll play one of those.
May I have your attention, please? Now departing on track 3, northbound train number 190. Last call for train number 190 on track 3. All aboard!
And just to demonstrate the operation, I'll just bring it forward a little bit for you here. And as I mentioned, all of these locomotives have keep alive capacitors in them, so when they run over switches, or if there's any dead spots on your railroad, or if there's a little dirt on the track, they'll just keep running without a problem. They won't cut out, and it really makes for a nice hassle-free operation. I'll just move it out of the way here. We have one of our Amphleets, which we came out with a couple of years ago here with the new Amtrak scheme on it. And you'll probably see right behind it, it just passed the Via Rail version, and we're going to take a look at the sounds on that now because we've got a few different features on that. So on the Via Rail Canada version, we have a few different features. We have many of the same lighting and sound functions that the Amtrak version has, but we also have a few different features that are specific to this design. So you'll see the lights on the front there. We actually have a third light, which isn't lit right now, but there is a third light as per the prototype. If you look to the roof, you have a different design horn to replicate the actual horns that are on these locomotives, and I'll play the sound function for that. We have a separate sound file for that as well. We've got the short version too. As you can see, the ditch lights flash when the horn is activated. And one of my favorite features about this one is we actually have authentic French-Canadian announcements on it. So we have the announcements in French and English.
Numéro 13, le train numéro 78 en direction Est. En voiture. May I have your attention, please? Now boarding on track 13, eastbound train number 78. Enjoy your journey and all aboard.
So it's worth mentioning that I'm controlling all of these functions with our new Easy Command Plus. This is the latest update to our Easy Command system, and it comes with a few new features. It comes with the same basic design, so it'll be fairly intuitive to people who've used Easy Command in the past, but it allows for a little more functionality. So one of the things that we can do with this now is, whereas with the previous version you only had one function per button, and that was the amount of functions you could access. Now most locomotives today come with a lot more functions. So what we've done is you can now control up to 29 functions using this. And how that works is you have the first 9 functions here, or the first 10 functions here, I should say. And then if you want to move to the next round of functions, all you do is press the button, you get 10 more, press the button, and you get 9 more. And the very last one there will control your DCC controlled Easy Command or Easy Track turnouts. Another one of our new features on this is before you just had the whole track stop that would stop everything. If you're running multiple trains, you only need to stop one train. You can just press down the center button here, the control knob, and that'll stop the train that's in motion, that's under control at that moment. And when you're running the train, we also have this handy little speed indicator on the side here as well.